You keep calling it love, but what you're really chasing is relief. Relief from loneliness. Relief from silence. Relief from the aching feeling that something inside you is missing. So you call it love, because that sounds better than admitting you just wanted the noise in your head to stop. But that's not love. That's survival. Let's be honest. When someone finally gives you attention, you don't fall for them. You fall for the relief. The dopamine hit, the calm that floods your chest when their name pops up on your screen. That isn't love. That's your nervous system exhaling after years of holding its breath. It's not romance, it's regulation. You're not bonding with their soul. You're bonding with the chemical silence they give you, and that's what makes trauma bonding feel so intoxicating. Because your brain doesn't crave safety, it craves what's familiar. And if chaos was your comfort growing up, then peace will always feel like boredom. Now let's go deeper into this, because this isn't about love, it's about addiction. Every text, every touch, every promise feels like a hit. You say you love them, but really, you love how they make your pain quiet for a moment. You love the calm that comes before the next withdrawal, and when they pull away, it's not heartbreak you feel, it's detox. Your brain spirals, your body shakes, your inner child screams. Not because you lost your soulmate, but because you lost your regulator. You keep saying, why can't I stop thinking about them? Because they were your emotional drug, and every system in your body is trying to survive the crash. Let's talk about that crash. When the high fades, when they stop calling, when you feel the silence again, your body interprets it as danger. It's not just sadness, it's panic. It's the same panic you felt as a child when love was inconsistent, when affection had conditions, when I love you was followed by punishment, neglect, or control. So your nervous system learned a simple rule. Love equals relief, and loss equals danger. You're not addicted to them. You're addicted to the chemical pattern of your past. Now, let's deep dive into the cycle, the emotional survival loop. It starts with the spark, attention, validation, intensity. You feel seen, desired, alive. That's your brain releasing dopamine, the reward chemical. Then comes the uncertainty, the distance, the silence, the confusion. Your brain panics, cortisol spikes, you chase, you beg, you overthink. Then, just when you're ready to let go, they come back. A text, a breadcrumb, a hey, and suddenly, relief. Dopamine floods back in. You mistake that relief for love, but love doesn't swing between starvation and binge. Love is consistent, calm, steady, and your nervous system has no idea what to do with steady, because steady feels like withdrawal. Now let's move into truth. You're not broken for craving intensity. You're conditioned. You've learned to equate love with emotional adrenaline and peace with emptiness. So when someone healthy comes along, you feel nothing. You say, there's no spark. But the truth is, there's no chaos. You crave the spark because you confuse nervous system activation with passion. You crave the highs because you're terrified of stillness. Because stillness makes you feel the loneliness you've been running from. But here's the secret. Stillness is where real love starts. The kind that doesn't spike your cortisol, the kind that doesn't leave you shaking, guessing, performing, the kind that doesn't feel like dying every time they walk away. Now let's talk about why pain feels like home, because your body remembers what your mind forgets. If love once came with rejection, chaos, or inconsistency, that's what your system calls familiar. And the body doesn't crave happiness, it craves familiarity. So you keep returning to the same emotional landscape, even when it hurts, because at least it's predictable. Your inner child would rather feel the pain she knows than the peace she doesn't trust. That's why you sabotage healthy love. That's why you chase unavailable people. That's why you confuse chemistry with destiny. Because the nervous system doesn't seek love, it seeks what it knows. Now let's step into awareness. You don't want love. You want regulation. You want the feeling of exhale after years of emotional hunger. You want relief from the loneliness you refuse to name. And until you learn to give yourself that relief, you'll keep chasing people who recreate the chaos that once felt like love. So ask yourself, when I say I miss them, what do I really miss? Their presence or the way they silenced the ache inside me. Now let's shift from survival to truth. Love is not supposed to feel like withdrawal. Love is not supposed to activate your anxiety and call it passion. Love is not supposed to break you open just to prove you can heal again. Real love is safe. It's boring in the beginning because your body doesn't have to fight for it. It's the absence of adrenaline, the absence of chase, the absence of pain disguised as purpose. Real love feels like stillness, and that's why most people run from it. But here's the paradox. The stillness you fear is the healing you crave. When you learn to sit in it, to hold yourself through the silence instead of reaching for another hit, that's when your definition of love changes forever. Now let's talk about healing this pattern. First, you have to stop calling your coping mechanism chemistry. It's not chemistry, it's conditioning. You don't need another soulmate, you need safety. Second, you have to teach your nervous system that peace is not punishment, that stillness is not abandonment, that safety isn't boring, it's sacred. And third, you have to give yourself the relief you've been outsourcing. That might mean meditation, movement, or breathwork. It might mean crying in silence instead of texting your ex. It might mean learning to sit alone in the discomfort until it no longer feels like dying. That's where real self-love begins. Not in bubble baths and affirmations, but in nervous system reprogramming. Love yourself by becoming your own calm. Now let's close this with truth. You don't want love, not yet. You want relief, and that's okay. It's where most of us start. But the goal is to evolve from needing someone to quiet your storm to being the one who can sit in the storm and still feel safe. That's love. Not chaos, not chase, not relief. Peace is the real love story. Journal on this. What feels like love, but only hurts when it ends? And if this message hit you deep, subscribe to Goddess Vibration and comment below, "I choose peace over relief." Because the moment you say that, your body starts to believe it.